Hey guys, this is Upsetting Tooth. I'm gonna be making a video about a very interesting state of affairs that I was put through like a week ago on the 16th of January. Um, for those of you that know, I have some friends that did subscribe there. I was at work. My job was robbed at gunpoint. Um, what happened was two armed gunmen wearing masks and gloves, both armed with a pistol, came into my store and basically held us hostage and cleaned the store out of all the money that was. And it was a very scary moment. I was very deeply affected by this. For a couple of days, I secluded myself in my room. I didn't talk, didn't leave the house. Um, I'm suffering from nightmares from it. I haven't been able to sleep properly because of it. When I just went back to work from that incident, they gave me paid leave, short period of paid leave. I told them I'll come back the next Tuesday. It was Tuesday. I came in and I just like looking over my shoulder. I didn't feel safe there. Very stressed. Anxiety was very rampant in that situation. Um, it was very hard to go back. I'm gonna basically I'm gonna describe the events that happened. That day started off like any normal day. Like I look at the schedule wrong. I came into my shift literally. I was supposed to come in that day at 12 o'clock, but I had it. I was looking at the day after. I was looking at Thursday instead of Wednesday, so I came in at 9 o'clock instead of coming in at 12. So you know, it was right a couple days before the snowstorm, getting very cold. The roads were icy. I walked to every day, so it was not very safe to really walk home. Managers didn't want me walking home, so they're like, you know what, we'll one of us is gonna give you a ride home. So one of my managers gets in the car. We get in the car. She drives me home. 12 o'clock hits. I go back to work, and the day starts out just completely normal. You know, average day there. It was actually relatively a good day because my boss was very happy with how the things were going. We're getting like great ratings. We have these like rating systems that like OSAT, what it's called for if you're work for my company, you would know what OSAT is. I'm not gonna go very too deep into OSAT because this is not what this video is. OSAT was good. We were getting good times. We're all having a great time. We're laughing, enjoying ourselves. And 3 o'clock hits. And at 3 o'clock, I get done serving the customer, and there's about three customers lined up. So I decide, in between these cars, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go get a drink. I go in the back, grab my drink, get something to drink, and then continue serving the rest of the customers. So I walk away from my register, and I get halfway through the back kitchen area, and I hear like something falling, like something fell. So like you know, something falls in the lobby, you got to get checked. Maybe somebody slipped because there was the lobby. Sometimes it's the winter, the lobby gets wet. Some people might have slipped. We have let floor signs out there, but just check to see if nobody was hurt. So I turn around and I see a customer on the ground, but wasn't because he slipped. Because two gunmen came in. They pushed him to the ground and they had a gun to his head. And one of the other gunmen was pointing the gun at my manager, who was operating the front register, because at the time we didn't have two cashiers. It was just me on the cashier, so I was on drive through. So they had to have a manager run the front register, serving that guest that was then pushed to the ground and had a gun to his head. So they point to the gun, telling her to get back, get your hands up, want the money. They dragged the customer who they knocked to the ground. They dragged him behind the counter and into back kitchen area. And then the other guy comes up to me, grabs, puts the gun to my head, grabs the sleeve of my shirt, puts me in the middle room, puts me on my knees, and then grabs one of my coworkers who was working food, grab her, put a gun to her head, and brought her over to the registers. They were trying to get her to open the register. Thing is, she makes food. She doesn't know how to open the registers, and even if she did know how to open the register, she really couldn't without the keys. Unless you make a purchase or you do some things where you have to put a code through, you can't open the register. The managers are the only ones that can do that without making a purchase. So, one of the managers instantly whips out her key. She opens the registers, and they also want what's in the safe because we had a safe up front. So she unlocks the safe, and she gets back. And so they start rummaging through all of the registers. Like the drive-through register was a slightly busted register. It doesn't like to open by itself, so sometimes you have to like pull it open yourself. And the gunman, the robber, the crook, couldn't get that open because it was not opening all the way. So he just basically rips the thing out, breaks the shit out of that like the wires that connect that drawer to the register, and then it comes open. He steals the money in that. And while they're taking all the money and putting it in their bags, there was a customer at the window, basically watching this all go down. And my manager was right at the window, and she was like looking at them, mouthing the words, "Call the police, call 911." And they were just sitting there. They were just sitting there laughing. They thought it was funny, which rightly angered me because they thought it was a joke, and they drove off afterwards because they weren't getting their food, and they just saw like, ha ha ha, the Taco Bell is getting robbed. And then they get all the money that they basically carry, or that they're willing to carry. They left most of the change. If it wasn't in a roll, they didn't bother with it. They just left it on the ground where they threw it all out, or they just left it in the drawer. They loaded up a backpack, picked it up, didn't bother closing it, just sprinted out, and they left a trail of money following them. And then it all sets in. We're safe. So I forgot to tell the part about the store manager. The store manager, I believe she got the worst of the deal because she was in the back. She was calling about some issues that we're having with our registers, and she was calling a helpline, a normal helpline that you can talk to give you some help with that. She was on the phone, and they saw her in the back. They saw her on the phone, in which luckily they probably weren't here because they weren't there to hurt anybody. Probably that guns were just there to scare us, make sure nobody was a hero. But it was a very scary moment because they saw her with a gun and they ran straight for her. Grabbed her, dragged her to the front, put her on the ground, had a gun to her head the entire time. But they thought that she was like, what? We were like calling for her, like one of our managers was calling her to get her attention. And she was like, what? I'm on the helpline. So they probably knew that she wasn't calling the police. But if they didn't know, I don't know. I don't know if they would have hurt her, but luckily they didn't. So now back to the part where they take off, they leave. So in this basically limbo, this is like section, you just got robbed, guns were pointing at your head, and fucking panicking, shaking all over. I grab my phone, I call 911, and so I call 911. Also, my manager called 911 at the same time, so we basically were on the same line with the dispatcher. And they eventually send police officers that way. And since this area that we were in has shared jurisdiction between 3 police departments, we had 3 police departments respond to the call. And so they come, they seal off every single door, like every single entrance into the store. Of course, we did have people in the drive-thru coming through before the police arrived, and we had to tell them, sorry, we were closed, we were just robbed, just go on, move, get out of there. And then the police came, blocked it off, and they fanned out across the entire neighborhood. And of course, we got the police officers to come and they were taking our statements. We told them everything that we knew. They were African American. They were wearing white gloves, black hoodie with the hood on, and the white face mask. And they were both armed. And really, all we could really see of them was this like tiny slit right here, so we could see their eyes and like basically their skin color. That was about it. So and basically we tell them the stories. Detectives came. He took some statements, and then later we find out that they actually caught the guys. They were just like half an hour later. They caught him like maybe a couple blocks down. They Yeah, and so they caught him. That was a great relief. And while I was at work, I was receiving messages because the news got out very quickly. I was receiving messages from family and friends asking me if I was okay. Told them I was, and it was a very hard moment. I like literally like before I was like supposed to leave at 5 o'clock. I left at like 4. That was when we were all free to go, and I told my manager that I was not coming in for a while. And then I went home. Of course, my father came pick me up, got word of what happened, and he was like very worried. Uh, he came, he picked me up, drove me home, and had a very. I was spacing out a lot. Anxiety was real. The anxiety was very real. I locked myself up into my room. Couldn't go to sleep that day. That night, I was awake all night. I The next morning, I called work. I told them after what happened yesterday, I'm not coming home. Well, not coming home, not coming to work for a while. Gonna gonna stay home. They were like, okay, I'll see you whenever the next time you come in. And then, not like maybe 2, 3, 4 hours later, I receive a call from work, and they were like, so like I understand the situation that you went through. We're gonna pay you for the day that you missed, and we're gonna pay you forever for whatever days that you decide to not come in. So I decided that I was not gonna come in, of course, that day. I was gonna come in on the Friday, and then I'll have Monday, Tuesday, well, no, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and I'll come back that Tuesday. No, I didn't, really didn't want to take advantage of their kindness. So I was like, I'll take those 2 days they'll give me, and then I'll take my weekend off, and that'll be my little leave period to recover from that experience. And I also received the message. The manager told me that my old boss, awesome, greatest boss you could ever have for your first job. This is my first job. Great, she was wonderful. But when the store was bought out, she retired, and she was like, she wants to know if you're okay. We'll give you her number. So I got her number. I texted her, told her I was okay, and then I just spent my entire week doing whatever I can to get my mind off of it. Not being able to sleep, of course, getting the nightmares and stuff, and being very anxious, having a lot of anxiety. I had lots of things to distract me from that moment. Like I had my brother's wedding to attend, so I went through that. Um, I just basically stayed up in my room for the entire weekend. Basically, got very anxious whenever people would ask about it because it was a very hard thing to go through and to relive it whenever time something's like happened. I'm sorry like, happened to you. Can you like, are you willing to talk about it? I was like, not when it was so fresh. I'm doing this now because I want to talk about it, and I didn't feel like it was necessarily appropriate to talk about it at work because the people that were there that went through it already were also working there, so they already knew. I just felt maybe they're not in the right position to talk about it. So I just decided, you know what? I have 8 subscribers. Not many people are going to watch the video, anyways, but it's a cathartic moment for me. I might as well just talk about it. here. I need to do a little bit of venting. So I mean that's the story. That's the little event that happened to me in my life. Still very. It's not even been a week since it happened, and it's still like I still get the shakes. I still suffer from the anxiety, like I said earlier in the video. Like I had a somewhat difficult time going to work, but other than that, this is gonna be my way of recovering from that. Probably won't make another video on this topic. But we'll see. Anyways, if you like the video, you appreciate it if you liked. I would appreciate it if you subscribe, help my channel grow. Um, I am also a live streamer. I stream on Twitch, trying to get affiliate. So if you would like to follow me on Twitch, I will post a link into the description to my Twitch channel. Just give me a follow there. I'll greatly appreciate it. And I'll be talking to you guys